What's good with the YouTube? You already know Big Flocker with a convicts reaction, bro. On this channel, what do we do? We react. So please hit the like, subscribe, comment, and do all things to help support this channel. And hit that bell notification for fire ass reactions. So check it out, man. I want to talk about the Chicano prison genre channel and the Chicano channels and whatnot, Raza. And what my opinion is of it today and where I think it needs to go and where the mistakes have been made. First and foremost, man, I'm gonna say this. I think that there's very few channels that are pushing 100% positive message at all times. And one of them, that I'll sit there and say that I think that in the beginning I kind of misread on a lot of things was American Cholo. I think American Cholo has a very positive message and really cares about the things that he's doing, and he holds a passion in what he does, man. It doesn't mean I always agree with everything he does. I don't, but I respect him. We've had our indifferences in the beginning that were very, very, very minimal, right? But for the most part, I think he's done the most out of a lot of these YouTubers as far as to create the change. Now, some people may think that it's you know, he likes the attention, the ego gets in the way. But I think regardless, we all have egos. There's nothing wrong with that, man. You know what I'm saying? We're all trying to push our own type of message. You know what I'm saying? And so he's one of the very few that does push a message. You know what I'm saying? At times it may come off as he's egotistical, but I think that's just how he is as a person. Like people get me read wrong a lot of times too, just by the way I present things. Um, but he's done a lot of good things, man. And one other hold on, man, I gotta put this in real quick. So one, in general, man, what I'm seeing though more now is people have gotten away from the positive message. They're more focused on obtaining views. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm guilty of that. I think everybody is, man. You know, uh, and at times I think that we don't we lose sight of having a moral compass or having integrity at times, man. And we don't have that notion to stand up for things that we should stand up for, man. And it becomes basically at times a factions, I guess you can click guys and whatnot, man. Support. Everybody starts to build their own support. You can look at all these channels, they all have some type of support, man. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm one of the very few channels that I rock on my own. You know what I'm saying? I don't need anybody to support me. If people don't like me, I don't really care. I don't disrespect nobody. But I'm always the one that gets the bad end of the stick because people like to fucking take shots. But I also do have a lot of support. And sometimes those people that take shots are very minimal, but they make themselves to look all that much more bigger, man. But as anybody knows, I've never backed down from anything and I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to continue forward to do what I do. Um, and, that's the thing that I've noticed is that these issues have come from external forces. People get influenced by the subscribers, by individuals that you don't even know who their name is, what they're about, or if they have true intentions, man. I see it all the time, man. People come into this where you may be knowing someone for 20, 25 years, and all of a sudden all that goes out the window because they're the support they get from certain subscribers. And then people jump into the mix. The same thing that you see Klikas within the YouTube genre, right? With his prison or Raza, is the same way you see with the subscribers, man. You know? And it kind of takes away from any type of positive message. Now, I get criticized at times for telling stories and you're glorifying it. And this is my message to anybody that feels that. Sometimes telling your truth gives credibility to who you are, number one. And number two, if you want to reach certain youngsters with a positive message, you got to have a channel that gravitates listeners so they can listen to what you got to say. I've done a lot of positive videos, man. You know what I'm saying? And I try to have a message in everything I do. It's not always going to work that way. And I said a moment ago, when I started to get criticized one time for just doing a regular video that didn't really have as much of a positive message, I said, you know what? Because no matter what I do, it's not going to be good enough. I'm not going to call myself a positive channel, but I'm always going to try to present a positive message in what I do. Um, but in general, there's a lot of hate. You know what I'm saying? There's always conflict, whether it's in the rap game, whether it's fucking channels and whatnot. Always people have to take shots, jump in things that don't concern them. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't affect you personally, sometimes people just need to take a step back and just do what they need to do for themselves, man. Like me, I personally just want to do what I got to do. If I do a spill, I'm going to do as much thorough, probing that I feel necessary. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's going to be just a perspective. Sometimes it's going to be a view. Sometimes it's going to be factual. And I always put my disclaimers when I do that. You know, you have other people who, get caught up like everybody else. They get the YouTube syndrome. You know what I'm saying? They come on, they get a little bit of fucking notoriety, they get a little bit of weight, and they change. And that's the thing is that you can't change who you are, what you came into this, because people in the end are going to see that. You know? You know what I'm saying? Like I said at the beginning, I do this for two purposes. One, I love to have a positive message. I love to help people. I love to interact. Number two, I'm trying to get views and money too. Why not? If you put this much effort and work into this, you deserve to be compensated basically for your fucking the work you put forth. Um, but I think it turned into a lot of things have kind of changed a little bit. Either you have people who speak on issues that maybe it's out of their pay grade, and they don't have to be a member or of another thing, right? But you do have to have an understanding of that life. You don't have to have been involved in prison politics. It's like some of these law enforcement or researchers. They've done their research. They've learned about these groups. They have, in my eyes, the right to speak on certain things. But then you get anybody that comes in that feels they can voice an opinion on things, and that starts to distort things and starts to water down things. And especially when this becomes a popularity contest, you can have those that don't know what the fuck they're speaking on, never worry about anything, kind of start to fucking mislead people by their perspective of things. They haven't been in the trenches. They haven't seen the reports. They haven't had to run investigations. They haven't had to do these things. Some of them, really haven't hit yards active that long. I mean, and some of them aren't even part of that group faction. It's like if I talk about other groups, it's just my perspective. But I do also have a lot of experience in dealing with these groups and seeing some of their educational, agendas and their ideologies and whatnot. Now, so this is like a wide genre. It's just you got the prison, you got the street gangs, you got the community, you got the rap game. All this is tied in together. You know what I'm saying? But who's out there really pushing a positive message? There's a lot of egos, a lot of pumping out the chest. Everybody's competing basically with one another. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like in prison with the politics where people start to campaign. Hey, I need you to support this, support this. You see people who support each other, man. And I've seen people get knocked down based upon the fact that they try to go against any particular groups at times. If you stand behind your content that you do and you don't intentionally try to go after anybody, then more likely than not, you're going to have those that support you, regardless of what your past may be, what you may have done. Not everybody's going to be thinking like that, but I kind of challenge all these prison genres, all these Raza communities and rap, right? Regardless if you like me or not, I really don't care. But I challenge you to have that positive message. Do the things that you say you want to do instead of creating these conflicts and issues, man. Have a moral compass. Take the higher road. You know what I'm saying? Show that you're no longer in that gang mentality or prison mentality because it's easy when you're doing YouTube every day to get caught up in that alter ego that used to be you. And sometimes it starts to rub off in your day to day functions, you know? Um, so, my opinion on all this today is that there's not enough positivity, there's too much hating, and there's not enough people who stay in their lanes. You know what I mean? I get told all the time I shouldn't talk about this and that. Well, if what I'm saying, I don't. If it offends you, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? I get where people are coming from. If it's something that's out of my, that's something I maybe not as familiar with, but I also address that, man. You know, see, people like to sometimes hear people's opinions, but it also comes to a time where people just go off people's characters, and sometimes your character can ride you so far on things that you don't know because people are gravitating towards that you as a person because maybe they like your get down, they like your steel, they like the way you talk, look, or whatnot, or the way you make them laugh. And there's nothing wrong with that. But let's just get reality. Let's just put reality out there, man. You know, uh, you know, if you're gonna do this, you have to have some type of fucking, like I said, integrity to try to help others, man. You can't utilize it and then walk away from it. That's why I discuss whatever on here. You know what I mean, I don't try to talk about active cases. You know what I'm saying? For reasons being, unless it's put out there in the social media world. You know what I'm saying? Newspapers, articles, or whatnot. Then I'll touch on it. But everybody thinks that it's okay to do certain things, right? But then they back away from you. You can't be shy in none of it, man, because some of the stuff these youngsters need to hear. They need to hear about the treachery. They need to hear about the scandalous shit that happens. And sometimes I think them just seeing us on YouTube and the fucking confidence sometimes people have, shit, that's enough for me fucking not to want to sign up. Thinking that, man, some of these dudes used to be leadership and they're acting like this on this channel. Oh, I'm cool. You know? So let our actions sometimes be the best example for others to lead. Um, I do though wish we had more of a positivity. I wish there was a more of an outlet to air grievances at times. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, everybody's going to be their own man, and that's always a response you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? If they don't want to talk to you, they don't have to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? But there's also a lot of people who hide behind shadows and shit too, and hide behind keyboards. And I think that we contribute a little bit to it, me and Roll, because we opened up communications with a lot of those that were subscribers. And then therefore they became over familiarized. And sometimes people just turn their backs and turn their cheeks and there's conflict, man. And there's drama. I figure like this: the less people I talk to and deal with, the less drama. You know what I'm saying? If it's an interview, you know what I'm saying, I'll tap in and do an interview on anybody's channel. You know what I'm saying? I'll have almost anybody on my channel. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not there to go on a day-to-day basis to talk every day and take up my time and let YouTube be the whole purpose of my day-to-day living. No, it's not. You know, there's a lot of things I do behind the scenes. I do to help out the community and whatnot. Not lately, you know what I'm saying? But I need to get back on that grind. It's about shoot 2 years ago. That's all what I was all about, you know. But when you see the negativity, negative vibes, negative feelings, negative fucking gossip, it starts to rub you and it starts to fucking affect you, man. And that's one thing. My reaction in today's YouTube genre is people need to get back to the basics, man, and not give other people who don't deserve that power over them. You know, I went through a lot last year, and I always came back stronger every time. And by now, I think people know that no matter what you bring at me, you ain't gonna knock me down. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can try all this stuff from like thousands of miles away, but it ain't gonna stop what I do. I'm just me. I've always been this way. The person you see, as far as that person, you know what I'm saying, is who I always will be. But it also takes away from the things the good that I could do in helping others, which is what we should be doing. That's more for making money off it. Why not? You know what I'm saying? I want to make $10,000, $20,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Who wouldn't want to make that? Doing something I enjoy doing. But, you know, it also became a part where people started no longer enjoying it, man. Like, seriously, there's times where I was no longer enjoying YouTube, man. You know, people will be riding with you one day and they'll turn their back on you the next. People get all pissed off if you don't fucking rock a certain way or believe what they believe and they get pissed. You know? And you always hear the remarks, it's just YouTube. Well, there's been people that have been hit, killed, and whatnot over this shit. So I don't look at it just as YouTube. I look at it that, man, we need to fucking know how we conduct ourselves. And at times we're a prime example of why gente can't get along. They're always hating on each other. They're always trying to tear each other down. You know, and that's what I've seen in all these genres that are Raza related in some form or fashion. Anyways, this is a quick reaction. These are my feelings. These are my views. I hope all channels succeed. Even the ones that don't like me, you don't care about me. I hope that you do well, man. That you prosper and you can get out of you can get out of those negative zones and look past whatever you got going on in your own heart and just do the greater good for the people out there. That's all that matters. Who gives a fuck about anybody else? But the people out there, the future, the kids, that's what's important, man. And if we can be a prime example of how to conduct ourselves, let's do it. With that said, Flacco, Conference Reaction, I'm out.